Good day, everyone. We are the Group 8 to represent the side of the first Mas in the Philippines, Masao or Limasawa.
On Easter Sunday, March 31, 1521, the first documented Catholic Mass in the Philippines was held. It was led by Father Pedro de Valderrama of Ferdinand Magellan's expedition along the coastlines of what Antonio Pigafetta referred to as Mazawa in his chronicles. Many historians and the government now believe that the first Mass was conducted in Butuan off the coast of southern Leyte. However, until at least the 19th century, the prevailing idea was that the first Mass was held in Limasawa off the coast of southern Leyte. The account of Antonio Pigafetta. It is considered one of the most cited accounts in the world even today, and the source that is given to us by Pigafetta would serve as evidence of when and where the Catholic Mass happened in the Philippines. Antonio Pigafetta is from a wealthy family way back in Italy. He is a scholar of cartography, geography, and an explorer. He is also one of the volunteers in the voyage of Magellan and Magellan's official chronicler and assistant. The documents are actually written in four manuscript versions, three French versions, and the other one is the Italian version. In accordance to Pigafetta's account, he stated that they stayed in Mazawa for 7 days. On Thursday, March 28, 1521, Magellan threw trinkets as presents to natives and invited them to the Spanish ship. On Friday, March 29, 1521, Magellan asked the king if he could provide food for their expedition through sending a slave interpreter. On Saturday, March 30, 1521, Pigafetta and his men spent their night feasting and drinking with the native king and his son. On Sunday, March 31, 1521, Easter Sunday, Magellan sent priests to the shore with some of their men to prepare for the Mass. On Monday, April 1, 1521, Magellan sent his men to help with the harvest, but they did not finish it. On Tuesday and Wednesday, April 2 to 3, 1521, they worked on harvest. And lastly, on Thursday, April 4, 1521, they left Masawa going to Cebu.
The next primary source is Francisco Albo's account. Francisco Albo was from the island of Rhodes in Greece. He is a boatswain navigator of Ferdinand Magellan's ship called Trinidad, and he became the pilot of the ship Victoria, under the command of Sebastian de Elcano. The content of his logbook are aside from Magellan's official chronicler Antonio Figafetta, there are also other crew that came up with their own interpretation during their expedition, and one of them is Francisco Albo. The content of his logbook mostly contain extant accounts containing navigational data daily entries of the course Victoria, latitude readings, and describing islands that they encountered. According to him, it was an island where it contains gold, and the people are very good. It is a small island called Mazava. In his logbook, he did not mention the first mass, but he did mention something about putting a cross on top of a hill that oversees three islands.
Richard J. Field. Pigafetta account was not comprehensive and he is a selective chronicler of events. He believed that the first Mass must have taken place before the end of the March because two Sabbats occurred between Magellan's landfall in the archipelago. The first Mass in the Philippines was held in the archipelago of San Lazaro and the Mass was on a board ship. According to Richard J. Field, Pigafetta account was not comprehensive, and he is a selective chronicler of events that occur, occurred on Magellan's voyage. Field believes that Pigapetas did not record an occurrence of masses chronologically. In order to avoid committing a mortal sin, attendance at Mass on Sabbath days were compulsory for Roman Catholics. He believed that the first Mass must have taken place before the end of March because two Sabbaths occurred between Magellan's landfall in the archipelago on Saturday, 16 March 1521, and the Mass recorded by Pigapetta over 2 weeks later on Sunday, March 31, 1521 at Mazawa. Therefore, Phil's conclusion in the first Mass in the Philippines was held in the archipelago of San Lazaro, and the Mass was on a board ship. Shortly after the expedition landfall on 16 August 1521 of Samar, or when the members of the expedition from the three ships could be first assembled ashore on Sunday, 17 March at Homonhon Island, or during the week thereafter on the same island.
Vincent de Jesus. He conducted thorough research on the factual basis of Limasawa, investigate the latitude, distance, time of the arrival of the fleet, shape, and size of the island of Limasawa compared to Mazawa. The name of Mazawa, other Cruz Pigafetta wrote that identifies Mazawa such as tilt houses, anchorage, rice field, all of which do not jibe with Limasawa. Pigafetta said the distance from Homonhon to Masawa was 25 ligawas, between Homonhon and Limasawa is 16.09 ligawas. On the other hand, Homonhon to Masao, Butuan City, is 24.54 ligawas. Travel time: Magellan's fleet left Homonhon morning of March 25, 1521 and anchored in the Masawa morning of March 28, more or less some 60 hours of traveling. At an average speed of 1.5 miles per hour, the fleet would reach Limasaw at around 8 in the evening of March 28, whereas it would reach Masao, Butuan at around 3:30 in the morning of March 28, more or less the time indicated by Pigafetta. Size and shape: Masawa, as seen as drawn by Pigafetta, is a stingray-shaped island, while Limasawa is a tiny worm-shaped island. More improbable, nay impossible, is the proposition that Pigafetta's Masawa, bigger than Bohol, which is 1,117 square miles, is equal to Limasaw, which only 3 square miles.
For our conclusion, from our understanding of the text, we conclude that Limasawa was the first to be the place of the first mass in the Philippines. Not to be biased, there are facts given by Pigafetta and Albo as the eyewitness of Magellan's voyage. The corroboration of information and statement on those two were present, while the evidence presented by the other was mostly blazed and supported by other historians.
Here's our references, and that could conclude our report. Thank you.